Hello, everyone, and happy Thursday. It is that time of the week for the Cannabis Events Talk Show, hosted by Event.io, and I am your host, Adelia Curlo. Now, for those of you that are new to the show, the Cannabis Events Talk Show covers all things about cannabis events, experiences, and tourism. We keep you updated on the hottest topics from current news, trends, bringing in amazing guests to discuss the cannabis event landscape, to marketing tips, and so much more. So to give you a little rundown of the show flow, we have an interview format with our special guest of the week. Then we'll chat about an article that dives into cannabis tourism. And then that'll be almost the end of the show. I do end with a couple updates like our event of the week and who is our next guest. So if you have any questions for our special guest this week, put them in the chat. Also, let us know where you're tuning in from and join the conversation. But now let's get to the good part. So I am, I love all being able to speak with all different guests. They all have different expert advice and insights into cannabis events, tourism, hospitality, things that are really bringing people together and also helping communities. So everybody is a favorite to bring on, but this week I am really honored to introduce you to this week's co-host. She's somebody that I am not only lucky enough to call a friend, but a business partner. So Parisa Mansouri-Rad is also known as the Marijuana Mama. She is a marketing executive and cannabis advocate whose experience as the mom of a special needs child propelled her into the industry. Now, when a spinal fusion surgery to correct scoliosis left her 15-year-old daughter with a rare life-threatening condition characterized by chronic abdominal pain, Parisa's search for palliatives led her to cannabis. After witnessing her daughter's dramatic improvement, Parisa decided to leverage her marketing experience to rebrand the malign cannabis industry through ongoing advocacy and education of the public on the benefits of medical marijuana. And she has done that. So with that being said, welcome, Parisa. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Adelia. What an honor. I am just tickled to be your guest today. So
Well, and we're going to have such a good conversation. I dived into a very important moment in your life and what brought you into this space. But, let's dive into it a little bit more. Where did that lead you to, not just, from an advocacy standpoint, but from a career standpoint? It led to many different opportunities that also allowed you to empower so many other women to take a leap into this space.
That is so true. It is crazy how sometimes, your biggest tragedy can turn into a life pivotal moment. And that is really what going through this situation with my daughter's health has really done for us, both of us. Now we're living this amazing life, if you will. I'm sure many people would want to be in this industry and get to do, or just do what they love, right? And so we're very passionate about, obviously, the plant and sharing it with people that also share in the same passions that we do about it being a true medicine and all the wonderful benefits that it can have for mommy and daughter. So since I now, use the plant as well. So it has been a bonding experience, and it's something that we really like to share with others so that hopefully they can replace their pharmaceuticals that are deadly and harmful with, a safe plant such as cannabis.
Yeah. And what I love is that she gets to, really, I don't want to say she gets to try all these new products, but she is an innovator. Yazzie is somebody that I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to try that product because she's out there really finding the right tools and right medicine for patients. So
yeah. She'll tell you the truth too, if she likes something or not. So she's pretty honest. But yeah, she's got her tools that she loves, the ones that are accessible. Since my daughter is blind and has cerebral palsy, using small devices or something that has flames can be really potentially harmful and dangerous for her. So finding tools that she's been able to find her independence and be able to, medicate when she feels fit, because she's now 21, and, having those type of independences, even as a bedridden, for the most part, individual, it is very it's just really good to be able to see her take her own health in her own hands. So I'm really proud of her.
Aw. You have again paved the way for other daughters and other moms and many children, while also again helping build community in this industry. One of your roles is president of 420 Collections. Can you share more about 420 Collections and the amazing work you all are doing over there?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. I'm so proud of the work that we're doing with 420. We are a women-owned and women-led edible and skincare line and fashion as well. I can't forget that part. We have our hands in a lot of different facets of the cannabis industry. We've been around for the last 7 years, and we started with one CBD bar of soap, which Marvina Thomas, our CEO, formulated herself. And it has just been an amazing journey. Through our work that we're doing in the cannabis space, we're able to give back 25% of our proceeds that go directly back into our community through the nonprofit called Start Living. That is a nonprofit that Marvina also founded, and it helps men and women who are suffering from homelessness and other conditions such as drug abuse and addiction, as well as behavioral health and mental health issues. So we help them get off the streets. We rehabilitate them through classes at Trinity Healthcare, Marvina's behavioral health clinic. And then we offer homes and housing and all the necessities. We have over 15 homes in the Valley that home several individuals in each house. And we also are now expanding into Yuma, Arizona, and soon to be New Mexico. So we're really happy about the work that we get to do on the community front and helping, cannabis and mental health to really go hand in hand. And the amazing part about their journey is like they're allowed to utilize cannabis in lieu of other pharmaceuticals, antidepressants, pain drugs like opioids. And we were one of the first clinics to be able to offer that. So that is really neat.
That is. Now, and for those that are tuning in and maybe, you're not in Arizona yet, as she mentioned, there are other ways that you can support through their fashion line, the skincare. Those are all items they can order, not just being in Arizona, right? Ship everywhere.
Absolutely. We ship it. Happily. So
well, check out the website. We do have the website up on the screen right now, and get some shopping in. Always treat yourself. And as Marvina always said, what was the lesson last month with Marvina is self-care.
Walk. Oh, self-care. Okay. Yeah. I always remember her little catchphrases. So
right, I know. I don't.
One more takeaway from Chicago to keep walking.
Oh yeah, the walk.
Yeah.
Now, over the years, you've invested a lot of time also hosting events locally in Arizona, and even traveling events in many other cities throughout the U.S. What was the biggest challenge you learned when it came to hosting cannabis events in other states, and possibly even outside? Did you host one outside of the US?
Well, we went to Puerto Rico for one event. So that one was interesting because I had never seen the venue before landing, hours before event. So, I mean, those type of challenges obviously can happen. I would say that was probably the biggest challenge, was not being able to physically be there and do run-throughs often. I would require the help of somebody in my community. And that is a big learning lesson, I believe, is that, it's really imperative to have a local individual to assist in producing something that's out of your state. I think it's important to just not only be able to understand the demographic a little bit better, but also to understand just the nuances, the laws, everything that goes into being in a different market. As we know, each state is so different, and even understanding the challenges that each state has so that you can be a more empathetic and understanding event host to different things that industry is going through.
Yeah. Well, and then too, now they have to, on top of it, even though things are opening up, still some states have certain, requirements or things that they're still specific about. So it's on top of learning about the cannabis component, still being
So
mindful of
through
this new.
COVID, on top of everything else, we've got different COVID laws and rules going on
Right?
everywhere through.
There's still so much more work with this. People have their hands
Yeah.
worked out for them.
Quite a few challenges with out of state, but also, all the rewards, because you get to meet a whole new set of people, and that in itself is so rewarding and worth all the challenges it is to produce. So
true. So true. Now, what tips would you have? I know we spoke a little bit about the challenges and having somebody boots on the ground, but what other tips would you have for someone who's looking to start hosting their own events?
take action, most certainly. I think that's the best thing, is to start right away. If you have an event plan, don't wait on it. Also just finding a team that that can support you, that you can work collectively with. Maybe that's a community organization or something along those lines. I always believe in collaboration. Maybe there's somebody that's also looking to do the same goal that you have in your event. I mean, obviously finding a mission for your event and understanding that initially is the most important thing. Like, maybe you're here to advocate or educate, or maybe you're just trying to get brand awareness for something that you're, representing. I don't know, but it's most important to find what that reason is that you're hosting the event, and then find the people that align with that. Maybe there's other people that are also trying to do the same thing, and, we're always stronger together. So I recommend finding allies.
Yes, so true. Such good advice. And I think is a great segue to the next question. Over the past year and a few months now, you and I have been working on a modernized networking series for women executives and women in cannabis. For those that are unfamiliar, it is called Blunt Brunch. And I know for myself, and I'm sure for you as well, we've learned a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And we've also had some amazing announcements or enhancements that we have incorporated in the past year. Do you want to share a little bit about what we have coming up and what people can expect for the next few months?
Absolutely, because we've grown ourselves, even as quote unquote seasoned executives and event hosts in the space. There's always learning and growth to be had. So, with every type of event, there will be different new challenges, every location and city, new challenges. And we have most certainly learned a lot along our journey of starting with just intimate monthly events to now doing over 250 women events in cities that we don't even live in. I mean, it has been remarkable. And on top of that, adding in monthly socials and empowering other women to allow them to host these events and get the amazing value that we've been able to get from hosting these events for the last year and a little bit more. So I think those are the biggest things that have been on the horizon for Blunt Brunch, is our national growth and us hosting events in 4 major cities: Chicago, LA, Arizona, Phoenix, Scottsdale, Phoenix. Which one are we doing? Is it Scottsdale? Is it considered Scottsdale?
I think you know, right? It's on the edge
of Scottsdale and Phoenix. But anyways, Arizona. And then, of course, Las Vegas. So those are the big changes for us this year.
Yeah, and we're excited. We're counting down now. We're weeks away from Los Angeles. So those that are tuning in from California, definitely check out Blunt Brunch and see about our upcoming national event. And yeah, you mentioned our socials. That's the one thing that I still can't. I'm so proud of us. And I don't want to toot our horn like while we're on live, but we are. Like it's really cool to see the co-hosts. Really, yes, we've helped them, but like look at them and what they're building and helping create the Blunt Brunch name and vision,
Even their first event, I literally cried. I was so proud and just astonished at these women and what they're creating for their communities. Lucky we've been here in Phoenix to be able to kind of build some momentum here in Arizona. But for example, experiencing New Mexico for the first time, where they haven't had women's events, and a lot of these women never had a mentor, anybody they could even talk to about a lot of the challenges and even wins that they experience in this space. So it is really comforting to know that we're creating a safe space for women to connect intimately, monthly, and really keep the essence of why we started Blunt Brunch to begin with. As we grow to leaps and bounds as we are, which is amazing, we still want to keep the essence of why we started it. So to me, the socials are actually the heart of Blunt Brunch.
Definitely. I so agree. Yes. And for those, again, that are interested in our Blunt Brunch socials, we are in, as Parisa mentioned, Albuquerque, New Mexico. We're also in Phoenix and Tucson, Las Vegas, and San Diego. So if you want to get connected with our co-hosts there, just reach out to Blunt Brunch and we'll connect you to the appropriate co-host.
Yes, we are sold out in Tucson. So, if you want to get on that list, Tucson, you got to get in contact with Grace ahead of time. Her events sell out. So, but we do have availability. I think maybe a few spots still left in San Diego and Las Vegas. So, ladies, if you're watching and you want to get connected to your community, please reach out to us. Adelia and I would be happy to connect you with our amazing co-hosts that are doing an excellent job of, sharing the Blunt Brunch mission. It's a tongue twister sometimes.
Yeah, right. Well, I just wanted to share a couple highlights. So Monique said, thank you, Parisa, for your amazing and continuing advocacy for the cannabis industry.
Oh my gosh, Monique. Hi, girlfriend. Oh, such a pleasure to reconnect with you. I remember meeting her at the Women of Cannabis conference. Do you remember that year, Adelia? You were there.
Yeah,
Yes.
the big one, right?
Monique was a speaker. So.
Well, she's coming to LA. We
Oh
got
my
her.
gosh! I can't wait to see her. LA is going to be so fun.
And then Quindle also said hi from Las Vegas.
Oh my gosh, Quindle, I hope she gets connected with Jess and Taya, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Amazing. Quindle, please send your email so we can get you connected with the Las Vegas gals.
Yes,
Such a great group of women.
Yes, definitely. They're going to be making some good waves over there.
Yeah.
Now, just a couple more questions before we transition to the article. This one's more focused just around, the importance of events. Why do you think events are important for cannabis and for the industry as a whole?
Well, I just know me personally, I felt like I was missing a whole piece of me, not connecting with people in real life during the COVID time, and it was so refreshing to be able to connect with people again in real life because a lot of communication is lost via electronics these days. You don't get the same connection that you do in person. And where else are you going to go that you can get several colleagues in one place that you can do amazing business and conversation and updates with, so to me, events are imperative for the success of a business and being able to network. I give all my success to networking and being out there and just doing the footwork of, shaking hands and getting to know people and really creating relationships in this industry. Because at the end of the day, this is still the weed industry. People want to do business with people they trust, and they can't trust you if they don't get to know you. And what better way to get to know you than face to face? So.
So true. So true. Now, one of the last questions I have for you is, I know we've spoken about, some of the things that are happening with 420. We spoke about Blunt Brunch, but any exciting announcements in general you have in store for 2022 that you want to share?
Well, we do have the launch of our very first 420 Collections retail. We got approved for our Vice license. So that basically means it's a vertical license. It is a retail, manufacturing, and grow facility. We also got approved for our delivery in Las Cruces, New Mexico, my hometown. So it is pretty exciting to think that we may be opening this year and being able to provide our product line to women and just individuals in my hometown is obviously really, really exciting. So I am ecstatic about our growth this year, not to mention the growth of Blunt Brunch, just getting to connect with more individuals that align with our mission. I think that's the most exciting part of this year.
Oh, that's good. And I can't wait to visit it. I want to go. I'm going to go to Las Cruces.
Oh yeah. We're gonna roll out the red carpet for you, honey. Treat me like a goddess. That's gonna be our motto in there. We're gonna treat all the ladies like a goddess that they are.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, can't Right. Well, now we are going to transition into the article component. So, for those again that are tuning in, what this part is we share a weekly article around cannabis events, tourism, lounges, anything just around that whole area of the industry. And then Parisa and I will chat a little bit about it. So, I'm going to do a quick overview. This week's article is called Permit Proposed for Cannabis Dispensaries, Restaurants, and Theaters to Allow On-Site Consumption. So 2 New York cannabis industry stakeholders are proposing that the state allows some cannabis dispensaries to include consumption lounges and certain venues like restaurants and theaters to serve cannabis products. Reggie Keith, a legacy operator who runs Canna House, a Buffalo-based private social club centered around cannabis, teamed up with Kaylin Kostetter, the managing director of industry consulting firm, the Kostetter Cannabis Group, to develop these recommendations. Both said that their proposal has been getting a lot of traction from the industry stakeholders and regulators. They also know some well-known players in New York cannabis industry who also signed the proposal, including Berner of Cookies, Mike Golden of the Higher Calling, and Vladimir of Happy Monkey. Now, if this does get approved, this would be the 4th conditional cannabis permit after the Office of Cannabis Management and legislators approve conditional licenses for cultivation, processing, and retail. However, none of the conditional licenses or the proposed special use permit were outlined in the Marijuana Regulation and Taxation Act. So just a few final words is that they do have some challenges. There are skeptics who worry the plan could introduce new complications to the licensing process. And then there is a component where it could be challenging for social equity businesses. Little John said, allowing established businesses to sell cannabis for on-premise use appears in conflict with MRDA's intent to grant 50% of cannabis business licenses to social equity applicants. So just what are your thoughts overall with this? I mean,
was that like Little John, the rapper, that chimed in there?
That's what I was wondering. I'm like, wait, where did the Little John come from?
Oh, wow, is he in the cannabis space? All these celebrities joining. Boy, where were you guys when we were trying to pass this stuff? No.
Right? Yeah.
Little John's got something to say about this. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's so interesting to see how every market is so different. You know, it's hard for me to wrap my mind about it, being able to get consumption products at a theater when it's so, regulated and restricted here in the state that I live in, Arizona. But then I go next door to New Mexico and, consumption lounges are a whole other thing. It's like going to a bar and it's, different. So I don't know. I mean, I'm excited to see how the industry kind of morphs and changes. Like, I don't think that we necessarily have it down packed the right way in any particular state. I'm excited to see what they do on the East Coast and how they kind of shake it up. Their laws have been different. I feel like they could be the model for like international, cannabis businesses as well. So, New York's always been kind of the center of the universe, here so when it comes to style and everything. So it's exciting to see what they decide to do. But I think it would be cool to be able to get medicated popcorn when I go to the theater.
Exactly. I agree completely. I mean, we already do it. I already do it before I walk in there. So
yeah, they might as well make money off of us, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you made a good point. New York has really been paving the way, and California has been trying to do cannabis lounges. They do have some. Las Vegas, that was the next big one they were talking about, but New York just has that style, that pizzazz, as you're saying, that they might be the leader of those lounges of just, that's what you do, the vibe that they're creating. So it'll be exciting to see.
It's very cool. I can't wait to go and travel to New York now and see. And that is on the 2023 plans, in case you were wondering, for Blunt Brunch. We're hitting the East Coast next year, so get ready.
We can't wait. I definitely love you.
Hopefully they have the lounges open in time so we can enjoy
right. We got to plan this strategically. We get all
right.
Well, with that being said, again, thank you, Parisa, for taking the time today to join us and share your advice and insight and your story. Just any final words, and how can people connect with you?
Well, let's see. I am on LinkedIn, Parisa Mansouri-Rad. It is a mouthful. Or you can just find me on Facebook, Parisa Rad. Made it easy for you guys there. And then I am on Instagram at Da Marijuana Mama. So DA Marijuana Mama, all spelled out. You can find me there too. Happy to connect with anybody who's looking for more information on pediatric cannabis information or getting involved in the space as a woman, or if you're interested in carrying our products and CBD line, love to talk to you too. So look forward to connecting.
Yes. Well, again, thank you, Parisa, for everything. And that'll be, I'm going to be taking you off screen for a moment and we'll be closing out
Thanks for
the
the
show.
visit. Bye, everyone.
All right, everyone. What a great another Cannabis Events Talk Show. I hope you all were able to enjoy the whole show. If not, this is now available on replay. We are live on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So you can go watch the whole episode back on any of those channels. And before we go, I just have a few final updates. So next week's guest is Michael Webster of Espervart. He is a licensed event organizer in Michigan, and he is hosting the Saturnalia Canna Carnival event. The highlight event of the week is the Canna Mom Retreat. The Canna Mom Retreat is a long weekend of connecting with yourself, nature, and other Canna moms. Their supportive sisterhood will enjoy 4 days and 3 nights of glamping in luxurious bell tents, delicious farm-to-table meals, bend and blaze yoga, cannabis juicing, CBD facials, a sound bath, a river float trip, Pilates, a goddess circle activation, and so much more. They want all moms who enjoy cannabis to have a safe place to be with like-minded women, relax and unwind, and come home to their highest selves. To learn more, go visit eventhi.io and type in Canna Mom Retreat in the search bar. Now, with that being said, we look forward to seeing you all next Thursday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And stay safe, stay healthy, and stay high. Bye.